Hi and welcome to Tachyon Tuesday. My name is Jason Keogh. I'm the Product Chief Technologist here at 1E. We've spoken in recent weeks about extending Tachyon. This will be the last in that series. We know that we can create extensions to Tachyon using product packs which have instructions and policies. Policies contain rules, which can be of type either check or fix, and instructions are either of type question or action. Rules are built up of fragments, and whether it's a check or a fix is determined by whether you have a fix rule or not, a fix fragment in use or not. A check fragment only will mean it's a check type rule. Preconditions are optional. Checks and questions provide data, and actions and fixes typically provide remediations and automate things. We know that these are written in scale, and we've also seen how we can embed OS commands, scripts like PowerShell or Bash scripts, and even third-party executables into those instructions and fragments in order to then execute and parse the results and so on. So that's all well and good, but let's tie it all together. Today I'm going to talk about instructions and some of the things that can go wrong. So here we have one. I've got a code signing cert, which is a demo code signing cert. I have an instruction which I've uploaded previously. This time I've signed it with the wrong cert. So that's saved, and I'm going to try and upload it now. So I go into Tachyon, into instructions, and even to get here I have to have a certain role around viewing instruction sets. To be able to upload, I have to have another, what should be quite rare, role as an instruction set administrator or a global administrator. When I go to upload that instruction, I get an error status, and it says it failed because the previous version is 1.3 and the new version is 1.1. That cannot fly. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I will change the name of this from Exchange to something else, 1EJK, in order to upload it. Okay, so we'll save that, and we'll upload it. Same file name, still called 1E Exchange PS parent, but the actual instruction name is 1EJK. Upload that, and it uploads. Fantastic. It's new and unassigned. So if I go and look at that in there, we can see actually we've got a red X for licensed. It's not licensed because in order to upload something, it must be signed with a code signing cert, and the code signing cert thumbprint and the what we call the prefix must match, and my thumbprint for this code signing cert is 1E demo. So I can't upload it with 1EJK because JK is not the prefix that's assigned to that code signing cert. So it's a slight bit of security there. We're going to call it the right thing, call it 1E demo PS parent, and save that. And that again is going to fail to upload. And the reason it's going to fail to upload now is that it has the same, it's a different version, it's a different name, but it has the same readable payload as something else that's already there. Okay, the readable payload must be unique. So if I call it 1E demo, and I have a version that's okay, I can put a different, readable payload in there, for example, some random junk, and now I can upload it, and it will actually get uploaded okay. Oh, it won't in this case. What's the error now? The error is another instruction. I didn't save it. Let me just save there and upload again. And it actually successfully uploads, and now it will be licensed because the code signing cert, there's my, the licensed version and the non-licensed version. So I'll delete the old one, and you'll notice that when you upload an instruction, it goes into unassigned, and the reason is that you need to move it to somewhere in order to run it, right? So the reason for that is that we need to know which users are allowed to run which instructions. Therefore, we have roles that allow users to run instructions from certain instruction sets, and if you uploaded an instruction and you haven't assigned it into a set, then we don't know who's allowed to run it and who's not. I moved it into my demo set. Now I can go and I can run that in my dev environment. XAW was one of the random crap I typed in there, so let me just hit that, and there we go. That's that instruction running in my environment. I'm going to delete that now. Actually, when I go to delete it, and I know it's in my demo fold here, I'm going to click that and press delete. It won't let me delete it. Watch. It won't let me delete it because there's an instruction pending running on it, basically. So what that means is that if I go into my instruction history, I wouldn't be able to update it either because it's still running. You see this instruction is running, so I've got to stop that instruction. I can stop it from here, or I can go into the instruction and press stop. Either way, once it has stopped, I can then delete it. Okay, So there's demo, there's that junk instruction, and we will delete it. So that's how you upload instructions. You need to make sure that they have a version number that's higher than the previous version number, that they have a unique readable payload, and that the code signing cert you're signing with matches to the prefix that we expect on that particular instruction. Another way to upload instructions is to upload them via an integrated product pack. So an integrated product pack, I'll take this example here of Windows security controls. This actually has within it the folders for fragments, instruction sets, policies, rules, trigger templates. It has a manifest, and it actually all bundles together into that zip file. We'll delete the zip file for now. The manifest is an XML file that just says what's in here. So this is a Windows security controls pack, and this policy hold rules which check and alert based on security controls for Windows devices. Fantastic. Now, if I look at this, there's a policies folder here. You can have one IPP, integrated product pack, which uploads a whole bunch of policies, or in this case, just uploads one policy. This particular policy, you'll see, has 31, if you count them carefully, different rules in it. And it's just an XML file that describes those rules. It has the name of the policy and the description for the policy, and then it has all of the rules. Then we can go in and see that we have rules as a folder, and in there we have the details of each particular rule. So this one is monitoring and alerting on USB drive insertion. It has a trigger, which is when a USB drive is inserted, and has a check, and one demo USB check. So essentially, that's the name of a fragment that I've written previously in TIMS, and I'm just saying this rule contains that fragment. Rule XMLs and policy XMLs are not signed because the things they're executing, the fragments, are signed essentially. So you can edit this any which way. I'll just show you another example of this. So this is one which has actually got a check, a fix, and a trigger. So the trigger is a change to a given registry key, and then the check is that it's of a given value, and the fix is to make it a given value. This is basically an example where we've got parameters for the particular checks or fixes or triggers that we're passing in. Very, very simple stuff here. So I have my rules and which are all in my rules folder. I have my policy XML in my policy folder. I have instruction sets here as well, and essentially I can put any instructions I want in here, and this will be created into, if there isn't one already, it'll create an instruction set called security controls, and if there is one, it will just put these instructions into that security set, or into that security controls instruction set. So that's great, and I can have multiple instruction sets in there as well. And then we have fragments. So those rules are naming specific checks and fixes and so on. So those checks are here, and the fixes are in the fix folder, and the preconditions are in the precondition folder. Okay, so these are the checks, fixes, and preconditions that are used by the rules in this particular policy, in this particular IPP. Okay, so what we do is we take Windows security controls there, we take everything that's in it, and we stick it into a zip file with, in this case, the name Windows security controls.zip. Okay, this is a zip file we can now upload using the deployment tool. So the deployment tool can run on your server, or you can have one that's running somewhere else. I'm going to go onto the server to actually run this one. So I've logged on to my Tachyon server, and in there I've got this, well, there's my Windows security control zip and a Teams one from previously as well. I'll just delete those. In there I've got a folder with my Tachyon product deployment tool, product pack deployment tool in it. So if I paste my Windows security control zip file in there, when I run this, you need to specify the URL. This is the URL for this instance. You can see that it's identified the zip file that's there. It's actually reading this text editor.manifest.xml inside that zip file. And when I press upload selected, it just uploads the contents of that particular policy. And now those instructions are there in the instruction sets, the policy has been created, the rules have been created, and the rules, I've actually got this one turned on already in my environment, but normally the rules, if they're fixed rules, will be disabled by default. You need to enable them, and you need to go in and assign that guaranteed state policy to a management group in order to have it execute. But essentially, that's it. We're done. Right? Let me just show you that process. Guaranteed state. Here we go. Administration policies. And we have Windows security controls. There's 31 rules in there. Those are the rules that were in my thing now. Some of these are disabled, but some of them aren't. I've enabled them previously and assigned them to a management group. But if it was the first time, you would choose a management group, assign management group. So the key point here is that Tachyon is an extensible platform. You can create new instructions. You can create complex integrated product packs, which have rules and policies and fragments and instructions all together in them, which may all share a common use case, for example. Or indeed, you can have something like this base set that I've got. If we look here, integrated product packs, base 2.1, there are many policies included in this set, and quite possibly hundreds of rules, right? Lots of 94 rules in this set. So, you can have these things as simple or otherwise as you want. You'll see instruction sets here. There's a whole bunch of instruction sets that are created, and indeed we have, I think, about 600. There are 696 different instructions in this one integrated product pack. All those, 94 rules, 700 instructions, lots of different instruction sets and policies and so on. So it's a very powerful way to deploy and update your Tachyon environment. And remember, each of these things can be a check or a fix, a question or an action. They can drive remediation as well as provide insight. So hopefully you found that useful, and thanks for your time as always. Next week we'll be exploring something new and wonderful in the world of Tachyon and how it can drive business value for you.